In this video, we will go over sample biases in surveys. So bias study will show bias if it systematically favors one outcome over another outcome. Few biases to watch out for and consider. Convenience sample. Getting people who are the easiest to reach. For example, spam landline telephone calling exclusively. Certain demographics may be more likely to participate. Younger people nowadays do not have landline numbers. Older people do. So this could be a bias against younger people. Number 2, voluntary response sample. People decide whether to join the sample. It's an open invite. Now this can exhibit bias because people who are strongly against or in favor are more likely to participate, like controversial topics or topics one is passionate about. Number 3, undercoverage. This is an example. Survey obesity of people walking exclusively out of a health food store would be a bad indicator of the obesity level for an entire town, because you need a mixture for this. Also, people who go to health food stores typically are less likely to be obese. Response bias. This could happen if a person agrees to do a survey and doesn't know the questions ahead of time. The surveyor asks a question and the person answering may be ashamed of answering truthfully. For example, did you vote last year? Maybe you didn't vote, and so you might feel ashamed, and so you would answer that you did in fact vote. So why is bias important? This is going to be one famous example. Literary Digest is a magazine, and they had a poll in 1936 election asking who would win the election, Governor Alfred Landon or Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Now the survey was only sent to subscribers of their magazine, or people who own cars, or people who own telephones. Having those three things during the 1930s, which was during the Great Depression, meant that you were very wealthy compared to the average American. Also, it had a low response rate, so the people who did in fact respond had free time on their hands. So one could make an argument that they were even wealthier. So long story short, this survey predicted Alfred Landon would win the election, but they were completely wrong. He only won Vermont and Maine, while FDR won every single state besides those two. So this kind of shows why it's important to conduct good polls that avoid biases.